Cassiopeia mid. Will it be something different? What is going on here? What is going on here?
No. No way. They're trolling us, right?
Yeah, well, maybe.
Something new.
Something new, the revive strat. I'm not too sure. We're just waiting for the final pick from Against All Authority. What will it be? Will it be another AP? Will it be something different? Will it be... I'm trying to think. It could be a volley bear or something. I don't know. Something different out there. Maybe it could be Victor. Oh, Nidalee. with
Surge Ignite on. Yeah, so when they said something new, then that makes it interesting. But
yeah, they've switched. There's a few of them switching.
Yeah, so heal on Janna. That's not really a surprise, but yeah, cleanse coming in onto Shyvana.
So it's going to be Soaz, I think, is going to be top lane with Shyvana. I'm not too sure whether he's going to switch or whether it is actually going to be Linak, and whether Moma's going to be in the middle or whether they're going to switch it round. I'm not too sure what the plan is here. I'm guessing it could well be Moma in the middle. And actually, Moma versus Cassiopeia wouldn't be too bad a pick.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I mean, you can keep that range, land a few spears. We know how it will. You know how dangerous a Nidalee spear can be. We will be seeing Soaz going top lane with Sion and Linak taking Shyvana. Might go middle. Or yeah, possibly in middle as well.
Probably going to switch again, maybe. Yeah. They're keeping us on tender hooks here with their something new. Hey, they have switched. Yeah, okay. Okay, back to normal. Fairly straightforward, yeah. Standard, I believe, is the phrase. So, you disappoint me, guys. You disappoint going in for the mix.
Well, the thing is, they said it on stage there in front of Hotshot, like, yeah, we're going to do something new. Definitely.
Really.
Was that trying to bait them, and Hotshot's like, yeah, we're probably just going to do same as we always do, to be honest. And just hope that we come out on top once again.
But you've got to remember the CLG also have this Korean tournament coming up. They're going to be going off for a month, living in Korea. Fnatic are going to be doing the exact same thing. I think CLG are going literally directly after this tournament. I don't think they're going back home. I think they're just off they go to Korea after this. So, you know, they are dedicated to scores. That's how big League of Legends is these days. Yeah, they're going straight to another tournament. So, who do we think here, Joe? CLG or Against All Authorities? CLG looked solid against Moscow 5, but it just wasn't quite to be. Against All Authorities looked very shaky. But I think now they've got nothing to lose, or they have got nothing to lose. They've got about $5,000 to lose. It's quite a bit. But I think they're going to be playing with a bit of confidence.
I'm going to go with CLG on this one. The second game against Moscow 5, real solid. Okay, it didn't quite work out in the end, but I think for them, sticking to their traditional setup, I think they're going to have it in the bag.
So here we go into the game. Counter Logic Gaming versus Against All Authorities. It is the third and fourth place playoff. $5,500, $8,500, I get it right, for the winner. $3,500 for the loser.
Just $8,000 for the winner.
Oh, good lord.
And $3,800 for fourth.
Yeah, really. You just had to move the figures off for me, didn't you? But yeah, let's give you a quick roster rundown in case you've just tuned in. We do have this crazy Sion skin in the middle as well. Moma doing a little dance for us there. For Canology Gaming, it will be Shen at the top. It will be Hotshot GG, probably the most famous player in League of Legends. Still, really, I guess there's not really anyone that's taking that mantle off him. St. Vicious in the jungle. He will be on Dr. Mundo. Meanwhile, in the middle, Big Fat LP. He will be on Cassiopeia. Down the bottom, it's going to be double lift on Ezreal and Chauster on Sona. Against All Authorities, well, they're going to have this tournament. That's going to be N-rated, not going with Leona this time. We have the Butterfly Cogmore with him as well, which is Yellow Star there. Soaz, meanwhile, will be the top lane. Ironically, playing as Nidalee against Hotshot GG, probably the most famous character he's used to having, so he's going to know exactly what he's up against there. Linak will be in the jungle as Shyvana starting off on those raids there, and Moma will be Sion in the middle. So we can see the Wolves being taken away by St. Vicious. He's going to go up towards the blue buff. Meanwhile, Against All Authorities are helping out pull that red buff. Moma's hoping he's managed to time that shield well enough, and he did, but he actually pulled it nicely for Linak there, and Linak's going to pick it up. So Wolves also taken away for Against All Authorities there as well. So actually trying to marry up the experience. It doesn't quite give the same amount. You can see just around a little bit lower, whereas if we look at double lift, oh, actually Chauster must have stole some experience. Yeah, he did. Double lift didn't quite pick up those golems properly.
Yeah, not the greatest of starts of CLG, but only minor stuff actually at this point in the game. So let's run quickly through the lanes. We're going to have Ezreal Sona for CLG against Cogmore and Janna down the bottom. Middle will be Cassiopeia versus Sion. Top, of course, will be Shen versus Nidalee. And the jungle, Dr. Mundo for CLG and Shyvana for Against All Authority. And we saw instantly there in the middle, early damage being done, early harassment from Big Fat LP, who's been absolutely fantastic through this tournament. Actually up there in the top 3 stats with the best AP carries that we've seen in this tournament.
Yeah, absolutely, very good. Up until that Moscow 5 game, he was looking very much nailed on for the #1 spot. Yeah, not too sure how that will have affected him. He said he wanted that T-shirt. There was the shirt, sorry. St. Vicious missing his chopper there, and well, Mama immediately putting the stun down on St. Vicious, diving into him. Linek has been exhausted though. Linek's going to have to back away. Will be first blood. Will he manage to get a kill? I don't think Mama will. I think Mama's in trouble now. The chopper lands on him. Mama's going to have to back away from this one. The poison is ticking away. You can see the flash from Big Fat LP. Has to go for the double fang. Doesn't quite have it available. Poison one more time. Will he land? He does manage to get the dots on him. Can he get close enough for a double fang? Oh, he missed. One more dot. And he see the health pot. He's going to get caught with the poison. I think that should be enough. He will get the kill. Big Fat LP with a double kill to start with. Meanwhile, St. Vicious is going to get caught out. He's got Yellow Star coming in. Now on Chowster, actually, he's going to have to back away from this one. You can see St. Vicious surely going to get caught out. Yellow Star might have stretched himself a little bit too far for this one. Will not get the kill. The exhaust goes on towards Yellow Star. He's going to get taken down. The chopper back in his face. Chowster is going to pick up the kill with a power cord. Now Enrated's trying to pick up the kill. Ezreal comes in. Finally, aAa get a kill. Has to use the heal, but Doublelift will surely finish this one off. Big Fat LP with a triple kill. My God, what a start.
Are we playing on Nordic East here, or what? That's the kind of thing that we've seen at this level, really only in Nordic East recently. But some great stuff. And the problem for Against All Authority is it pretty much went all in the favour of CLG. 4-1 in kills at this early stage of it. And the biggest problem about that 4-1 scoreline is Cassiopeia on 3-0-1 after 4.5 minutes. That's not going to be a pretty sight. She's got Doran's Ring, double Amp Tome, and, well, Sion's going to have a whole lot of trouble in middle.
Yeah, exactly. Nearly getting the Hextech Revolver 5 minutes into the game is not a pleasant way. And Rated getting harassing on Doublelift there. So Ezreal having to back away from that one. Throws a Howling Gale in his face. So Doublelift's going to have to back away. Not that he's too bothered, because he got a couple of support kills back there. Let's have a look towards Chowster. Chowster coming round the side there to protect him. And Rated throws that Zephyr at him, which actually is going to still come towards him. There it is. Saw it following, and it will follow through. Went with the Z, teleported. Soaz holding off Hotshot, the top lane here, just about. You can see he's 4 CS down, so very close between them. But Big Fat LP is the fed one, so I'm not too sure if the Something New really had the plan of losing 4 kills very early on.
Yeah, maybe that was the Something New. They wanted to make a comeback. Yeah, I'm not sure. We've got Big Fat LP with that red buff on, which I think he actually got from the first kill all there. Or, yeah, there was so much action going on in that. Either way, down at the bottom, let's have a look at the early CS. We have 35 for Ezreal, 28 for Cogmore. As we do see Cogmore trying to put a bit of damage down onto Doublelift. Obviously, with Chowster down there, we do have a little bit more sustain in the lane. Doublelift can hang around more in the lane with those constant heals coming off. And the amount of summoner spells that were burnt actually in that first little encounter, across the board almost everything was dropped, apart from the guys in the top lane who weren't even involved in that. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Hotshot just taking a bit of damage from Soaz, who is now up to level 6. Shen level 6 as well, so we could see him flying around the map a little bit more and getting involved in those fights when those ganks come in place.
And for me, the big difference in the Dignitas game was Voyboy beating Soaz. Soaz was just completely hammered in that lane. I mean, it wasn't even close, which is, you know, and Soaz is a top player in that top lane, and it was amazing how well Voyboy has been playing in this one, or Voyman, as people have been calling him, because he keeps to growing that great big beard he comes up with every man, which is pretty impressive for a 16-year-old, I've got to be honest, because he is only a young player. I would say the youngest, but Poe Belter obviously wasn't able to attend in this one. He's only 15 for Curse Gaming, but he is one of their top players and unable to attend for tournaments, which is why Curse's results online generally tend to differ from LAN. However, they did reach the quarterfinals with a very good result for them. So, meanwhile, Hotshot back in lane. Hasn't actually, I don't know he did, he's been back on board. He just backed away from the lane, didn't he? And quickly life-stealed it up there. Soaz continues to harass him using them bushes, as all Nidalee players would do. But Hotshot is going to be well aware of that one. Momo's going to have a hell of a time in the middle here. You can see Big Fat LP has gone back. I've got that Hextech revolver already. We're only 7 minutes into this game, so he's going to be farming like crazy. Going to pick up that blue buff as well. Meanwhile, down the bottom, Double Lift getting caught out there. Howling Gale just going across. The slow from Yellow Star as well, but it's not going to be enough. It will force him back, and he's just going to use health pot and sit back for a moment. He has got a double Doran's blade, so he doesn't want to leave the lane really just yet. So he's going to stick around. Shyvana, meanwhile, continues on that jungle path. Very quick jungler, up to level 6 now. Keeping my eye on Mundo, because Cassiopeia has just picked up that blue buff. Now Mundo tries to sneak his way in. Actually, no, St. Vicious looks like he's just going to cover off the lane for a Hotshot there. So it will be the gank tax, I believe, that Freak was talking about earlier. Oh, it's a spear onto St. Vicious there. Actually forced him to use his ulti on the tower. And Soaz thinks he can have a piece of it here, and he's going to have to back away. The tower hits, hurting him quite badly there. St. Vicious' ulti, should have seen that really, ulti. I think he must have just pounced at the exact same time he poked that ulti out, Joe. But yeah, they've backed away from that one.
Yeah, close stuff there, and Soaz took a little bit too much damage from the tower to stay around and finish off that little dive that he had planned there. Lands another spear, and Soaz fancies it. He actually flashes in there. There comes the Shen ultimate. We are going to see him go down. Great stuff from Soaz. I think he thought about running there for a second, then realised, well, if I run now, Shen's here anyway, and he's going to get me. Actually, Hotshot has come in. Go on, sorry.
I'm just saying, I'm not sure. I think he just backed away just to get in position to pounce back over again. So you have to line yourself up, because the pounce goes in the direction you're facing. So he just had to quickly adjust his position, I think, was the main thing. But yeah, I see what you're saying. The Shen ulti was coming in. He was like, not too sure whether to escape. No, I've got a pounce on his head. Now we have Hotshot in trouble as well, because Linak was sneaking in there. But I think Hotshot's not going to fall for this one. Or will he? Or will he? He has, and don't remember, he hasn't got his ulti, so he can't get help out. Linak's going to maybe dive. Linak will have his ulti available in a second, as we can see him pushing towards that tower. Does use it at the end there just to steal away the kill from Soaz. I think that may be something new. We're going to steal kills. 4-3 now, and against all authorities, starting to claw the way back after a disastrous start.
Yeah, starting to work their way back into things. Yeah, ulti from Ezreal is coming across. It's going to stop Linak. No, not quite. Does land on Soaz, but Linak will literally a split second finish his blue pill and get himself back home. Meanwhile, down at bottom, we are seeing Yellow Star focusing onto Chowster. Double Lift got no mana at this point as they switch back over onto Chowster. Obviously, level 6 now is Yellow Star, but not quite landing the shots that he needed to finish things off there. Double Lift actually needs to be careful here. He's not really got the mana to sustain. Chowster does come back, and he will be safe. Meanwhile, up at top, Nidalee is going to take the first turret of this game. So that kill from Shyvana, in fact, the 2 kills that we've seen up at the top in favour of Against All Authority, really winning them that early gold. And they're back to round about 800 gold difference. So I see just trying to clear out these minions. Needs to be careful that he doesn't overcommit to these situations, because Hotshot will turn on him and try and force him away, which is exactly what he's doing right now, but he switches over and pounces his way back to safety.
Just tries to find his way to victory, throws the spear out as if to be cheeky, and will back away. And Purchase, actually Hotshot realises where he is, and he's going to go straight towards that bush. And now actually Soaz is going to pounce towards him. I'm not too sure if he's in the right position, because he's only within 50% damage at the moment. And now Soaz needs to be careful. He has got the Ignite on him. He's trying to bait him round. He's trying to use the minions to try and divide him. I'm not too sure he's got enough. He will pounce across, but he will go down. And Hotshot GG picking up a good kill there. And he was trying his best to bait him around as much as he possibly could, but it wasn't quite enough. The ping has gone down for the river. Didn't see whether N-Rated actually managed to put some wards down and clear them out there. There is a ping ward down on that river, so maybe he managed to pick one up.
Yeah, Rod of Ages completed now on Nidalee as well, as she went obviously back home being dead. If we look down the board, Boots of Mobility, pretty standard item there on Sion. Also the double Doran's ring in place. You've just seen Regal's Lantern finished on Shyvana as well, so that makes her a little bit more dangerous. Ezreal BF Sword, double Doran's blade. did him taking damage earlier on. Actually decided to stay in lane since he'd just been back and bought those double Doran's Blade. Middle is going to get some pressure onto it as well. Soaz going to try to come over and pressure. And we have seen Cogmore go back home. He's got Zeal plus double Doran's Blade plus the Berserker's Greaves already finished as well. I think he was headed down towards middle, but will come back into this bottom lane. It's turret taking a bit of damage in there. N-rated, going to be the focus of double lift. Howling Gale will land. Will they try and push some damage out? I'm not sure that's really the option that they have. Actually, Yellow Star, since he's got those tier 2 boots, that could be different. Meanwhile, up on this top side, Hotshot GG could get caught out if he's not careful. Soaz in the brush. He's got Linak there as well as Shyvana. And they're just going to try and push this lane as heavy as possible and then possibly move over into one of those other lanes. Soaz is still hanging around there. That blue buff must be due shortly.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see it's just spawned. And Soaz is there ready and waiting. But I think he got spotted actually, yeah. And St. Vicious goes across there. We have Soaz and Linak in there. You can see Sion now coming across as well. The trap ironically went on towards the... see the ward actually in the play, so keep an eye on the bottom as we go. Poison thrown out, Soaz managed to catch a full wave of that in the face. And they will try and pull it out. Oh, Spear catching on towards St. Vicious. He wasn't ready for that one. Soaz is going to make his way around. Linak is ready and waiting. They have the ward on that, and they got the smite as well. Linak managing to get to steal that ward, playing its dividends there. And that was stealing away the blue buff. So that's actually going to hamper Big Fat LP a little bit there. Soaz comes around. He has a little go towards St. Vicious, and he's starting to cause himself problems. Meanwhile, down the bottom here, you can see the caustic spittle coming out from Yellow Star, but he's not able to catch onto anyone. So that bottom lane, and wow, Moma's actually starting to get very aggressive. Let's have a look how this is working out. 106 CS to 112. He has managed to keep up and gone with that boots and mobility and double Doran's Ring, despite that very early triple kill for Big Fat LP, which does surprise me. Big Fat LP, but then again, you know, Sion can farm like crazy once he starts getting higher levels.
Yeah, once he builds that shield up, it's not going to be
Janna having to use the ulti down the bottom there to save Yellow Star. You can see N-rated, having to cut off Double Lift's attack there and just about keeping Yellow Star alive. Meanwhile, at the top, actually Soaz is getting caught out by Hotshot GG again on the tower, Joe.
Yeah, early pressure put down by both players, and now Soaz needs to be a little bit careful. We've seen that one-on-one earlier on. It was Hotshot that came out on top of that one, but now that Rod of Ages has built up, maybe something Soaz will be feeling a little bit more comfortable. Heart of Gold already finished for Hotshot as well. Soaz pretty much back up to full HP using that heal, plus I think a pot was used in amongst that as well. In amongst that for the first time of the game. I knew that was going to happen, and I've purposely tried to avoid it.
It's in the back of your mind once you're ready. Don't worry, I've been saying just about the whole weekend. But weekend's not even the weekend yet, it's been a long week. Double Lift though, clearing out that bottom lane. How's it going that bottom lane? 118 CS for Cogmore. Meanwhile, you can see 138 for Ezreal. Ezreal with that slight advantage, has got that BF sword, and as mentioned before, he generally goes with a bit of damage rather than the Trinity Force early on Ezreal.
Yeah.
Tends to go with a sort of BF sword, maybe even an Infinity Edge or a Bloodthirster, looking like a possible Bloodthirster. Might switch it up. Mama continues to farm with that shield, and he will be chunking down those teams. Minions is the word I'm after. Good lord, it's been a long day for me, I'm afraid. N-rated coming through though. How are they going to start on this dragon? He has got a support fight going with Chowster there. Chowster turns around, puts a power cord in his face, so he throws a Howling Gale back. It's going to be one of those longest ever fights known to man, but Against All Authorities are going to move in. They don't have vision of this ward though, so CLG, not known to fight for Dragon, may actually go for it this time, but Moma's going to go back up, quickly clears the wave and goes about his business. And actually Linux kind of took control of this top lane. He's been just pushing it more than Soaz has.
Yeah, it's left Soaz to actually wander a little bit actually. Obviously Nidalee with that pounds can move a little bit faster around. Linak, Shyvana in particular, not slow either to get there. We've also got Sion, who's super quick, boots of mobility, obviously he's picked up, as you'd probably expect. And that shield now blasting its way through those waves of minis. He's just picked up the needlessly large rod as well, so up to 150 AP to the 125. As we see down at bottom here, Chowster could be in a little bit of trouble. Actually, the stun didn't go over Soaz, and he's going to leap away, and they could even continue to push after that spear hit Double Lift. But no, they pulled the tower. No minions there to take that aggro back. Spear coming very, very close. And now that's the thing with that Nidalee Spear is, if it hits, you're instantly in trouble. There's not a lot you can do. It aAa needs to be careful though. St. Vicious is there. He used the flash to get away. Was exhausted. N-rated will have to use his ulti. Can he get away from this one? Heal is going to be used. Hotshot GG just absolutely pops him. But in comes Sion as well. Spear completely missing those two. And I think that could be, well, the end of the action here. That turret is still fairly high, in fact almost full. There's not really much taken off it. Yellowstar will put out a few hits, try and take it down to around about half HP, and the spear on Hotshot is not the most effective at this point, although if you hit 2 in a row it starts to become a little bit more dangerous.
And Linak just dodging away from Big Fat LP there, not too worried about that. Does get caught by the stun there. Sorry, the slow. The Twin Fang going onto him. Meanwhile, down the bottom, I can see they're actually diving onto him, so I'm going to switch down there. You can see St. Vicious getting caught out. The stun may come back out for a moment. They will manage to get catching on there. What's the stun? Meanwhile, you can see Linak had got away from that one. So, SoAa's tossing out that spear at Hotshot. If anyone knows about that spear, it should be Hotshot. Oh, I'm not too sure Doublelift wants his fight, because SoAa's is pretty well fed. He's going to dive in towards him. Well, maybe he does. He has got the support of Momo, though, and will back away from that one. Minions do take the turret down eventually with the help of Cogmore. And that is the second outer turret down for CLG. So, against Authority, starting to push Strat a little bit here and go around and pick up Dragon.
And that shield starting to hurt as well. Death's Caress from... ulti went across there.
Nearly got the steal.
Did he get it?
No.
Not quite happening. So, overall picture at the moment, 6-5 to CLG in the kills, but those 2 turrets plus the Dragon for against All Authority mean that they're 1,500 gold ahead. In terms of the CS, let's have a look at that middle lane. 155 for Cassiopeia and 163 for Sion. So he's slightly ahead now, as you may even expect once that shield starts to get up, and he has been wandering around with those boots of mobility on as well.
Yeah, just put himself Rabadon's death gap as well, which is a big upgrade for him. He only just had a blasting 1 before that. Yeah, it was just a blasting 1 before that.
279 AP now on Sion compared to 126 on Cassiopeia. So that shield really going to start to... Let's have a look at the damage on it, actually. 300 plus 251. So up into mid 500 damage range when that pops on you, and they look like they're going to try and come in onto Big Fat LP. Surely will use the ulti. Yes, he will. Well, that shield is going to pop right on top of him. Big Fat LP going very, very low, but Hotshot and St. Vicious are there. It looks like Big Fat LP could get away from this one as he flashes out as well. Linak and Yellowstar join the party. Who's the focus going to go on to? Hotshot, which for me could have been the not the best target out of the two. St. Vicious will walk away with pretty much his full HP as well. But Hotshot, I don't think he's finished here. He's sniffing around that middle area. Maybe wants to just get there to protect this turret. Knows that against All Authority may just switch up and try and get in for that one. Janet was also just sticking a couple of wards down as well. And if you look at the map vision, warding from CLG, from against All Authority is actually really strong on the top side of the jungle.
Yeah, so SoAa's taking away that red buff as well in the jungle. You can see Hotshot now being pressured by Yellowstar and N-rated in the middle. And like you say, that vision is definitely all in their favour. That's obviously down to Nidalee. He's been roaming pretty much since that top tower was taken. He's been sitting across the lane. SoAa seems to be enjoying himself here. Must have a lot of gold on him as well. Yeah, 2,000 gold just about. He's going to go back and... I wonder if he's going to go for a Rabadon's death cap there. I wonder if that's what he's building towards. Something weird. Not so much weird, but just going the old AP.
Pure
tends
AP,
to be AD Nidalee lately. It tends to have been more advantageous. Linak might catch St. Vicious here. Does manage to catch the burnout on him, surely, and that's going to be the ulti from St. Vicious already, but Cryptic Gaze will come out from Moment. That will catch straight onto him. The shield popping as well, and St. Vicious caught out of position badly by against All Authority there. They're going to continue pushing that middle lane as well. Yellowstar covering off Big Fat LP's push, and I'm still surprised that Big Fat LP have not been able to put himself onto this game a little bit more. Had got that Will of Ancients completed, but you can see against Authority charging down on towards his turret. It was down to half health already, and he's just going to keep driving forward. Yellowstar will happily cover off this lane, and he's just given any warning to say, yep, they're on the way to you. They have got ward placements. They spotted Hotshot GG. and actually they've lived in their jungle, so they're going almost Moscow 5 style.
Yeah, and Chaucer with Oracles now really needs to get himself into that jungle on the top side. Obviously it's kind of dangerous at this point. They've got no real vision apart from a one at the right hand side. You can see in that middle turret as well, Yellow Star and Soez are there, so that's going to be another turret going down for Against All Authority. And despite that early kill advantage for CLG, 4 turrets going in against them. We may see that team fight happening now. St. Vicious getting to the front of the pack. Actually, Howling Gale will go across the whole team. Cogmore just throwing out as much as he can. They're going to dive in onto Soaz, who will just pounce away. He doesn't want to be giving up that double buff, and General to use as well, just to protect the rest of his team. There's the ulti across Enraged, and actually dies to the ultimate from the double lift. Soaz getting the exhaust on me as well. They're trying to pull back. Linak falling very low. Heal comes in. That was very clutch, kept him alive. And well, Mundo went down, and that will be a 1-for-1, and I can't quite believe that Yellow Star and Linak survived that little fight. Without that heal, that would have been a double kill going for CLG as well.
Oh, Momo was trying to hang on to that, so it wasn't quite enough. I thought, you know, what are you trying to do? A 4v1? Hotshot will happily take the tower hits. Oh, Nidalee managed to steal a kill there with the spear.
It was a red buff the dot that finished him off as well.
And that is actually just a 2-for-2, but they did take turret down. And really, that was simply a case of Linak being caught. They're like, okay, Linak's over here, so we're just going to go straight for them. We realise Linak's completely out of position. We know he's going to come behind him, but we can pop someone before it happens. 23 minutes now into this game, and well, Against All Authorities going to go straight for Baron.
Yeah, Baron after 23 minutes, and CLG, they've got hot shot, but they're not aware of this whatsoever, and that's again all down to this brilliant vision. We've not really seen CLG come anywhere near this top side of their jungle for the last 10 minutes or so, actually. It's been all about Against All Authority. Baron is already taken. They're going to notice that here in a second when they get a vision of this massive minion wave that's up at the top for that free farm. And let's see what the Against All Authority decide to do with it. I almost said the French team there to decided against it to, you know, the 2 Germans, keep them happy.
Well, they're just going to push straight down, and you know, CLG going to have to respond to this. You can see that double lift is away from it at the moment. Moma's just going to come down. He's going to start pushing that bottom lane as well. They will drive towards the tower. I don't think they'll get too much on it though, on the inhibitor. Well, actually, Hotshot GG going out for it and actually losing half his hit points there. Cassiopeia also caught in the Howling Gale. And I think Hotshot's like, I'm not probably going to do that again. Seemed to take quite a lot of hits from that. Hasn't got a great deal of magic resist, actually. Light's 131, he's got a fair chunk of it. But you can see, Moma down the bottom, he's just going to chunk away on that tower. And now they have caught out Big Fat LP as well, getting caught out there. As soon as Moma actually joins this, I'm not too sure whether they need to, whether they're just going to keep poking away at this tower. You can see he's already lost 600 hit points. Meanwhile, Moma continues to just chunk off this tower down the bottom there. He's slowly working away. Hotshot GG now going down the bottom. Not too sure that's the right thing to do. He's going to take the turret down. Will he manage to get the Cryptic Gaze on him? No, he will not. But it has managed to pull it to a 4v4 on this side, and still trying to get towards that tower. They haven't done anything to it for a while, but Moma's just happy farming down the bottom now. Has used his ulti though, and he's just going to back away from this one. You can see Linak actually just getting slowly pulled out there, but they are not engaging. Remember, this Baron has around about still over 2 minutes on it, so it's a long time. But while this is all happening, Moma is slowly but surely winning the fight down the bottom there. He just got to get a quick Cryptic Gaze and a shield pop on towards Hotshot. Hotshot again is going to have to back away here. Meanwhile, Against All Authority continue to poke and prod his top lane, Joe.
Yeah, really great stuff, really great split push at the minute. Moma really causing problems for Hotshot, who's currently at half HP. Cryptic Gaze goes off, another shield will explode onto him, and Moma just backs away. Let's see turret focus back in onto the minions. Up at the top there, slowly but surely taking this turret down to about a third of its HP remaining. Meanwhile, he's gone for Hotshot. Oh yeah, he goes low, decides to move away, and Moma says thank you very much. I'll have a few hits onto this turret. Next wave of minions is coming in. Until then, I guess he will tank that one up. Yep, and he walks straight back into it and should be able to finish this bottom turret off. And I think this is going to be quite annoying for Hotshot, wondering what can I actually do against this. And again, Moma just goes in there. He's quite happy to just hit the turret, take that one down. Hotshot is there, double lift will come in, so Moma will flash away. Needs to escape this little one. Obviously, needs to wait for that Cryptic Gaze to come up before he can stun and get anything across. I think that Moma may actually go down in this.
Yeah, I think he will do, but that's going to mean they realise that there's actually someone missing, so they might push the advantage in the middle there. Actually, you know, against authorities, all selling a lot of gold. There's like 2,000 gold across the board there. I think
taking
they've finally
middle down as well.
Yeah, they've pushed on. You know, like you say, that's the inner turret going down as well, so they're taking great advantage of this. So main base turret down. They've taken all the inner turrets down now, and that's top inner turret as well. The base turret is only down to 600 health, so against authority have used this Baron very well, despite the fact they've been a little bit unorthodox in case of they not just hold straight in there. They've just completely pushed straight it across and actually used CLG's kind of tactic on them, because Shen would normally be off on the side, Hotshot GG would normally be doing the exact same thing, and kind of used it on them in their own way, and it's working out very well for them. 9-8 in kills though, CLG with a slight advantage in kills, but they are way behind in towers, 7-1, and it's all about killing that Nexus. And well, the outer turret down the bottom will finally go down for CLG.
Yeah, and they've just gone back home as well, which was needed. They had a ton of gold on them. Another blasting one picked up there for Nidalee. Rabadon's Death Cap finished to add on to that Rod of Ages from earlier. aAa's Impaler finished by Shyvana. Already got that Frozen Malik for Cogmore. Infinity Edge plus a Phantom Dancer on Sion. There's the Deathfire Grass. Rabadon's from earlier plus an extra Amp Tome as well. So just generally the items really, really strong for against all authority. Ezreal has now finished that Triforce as well. Riley's finished on Cassiopeia, who's actually still not died. So that's good play from Big Fat LP. But let's not forget those 3 kills came after 4 minutes and 40 seconds, I believe it was. And from there, I've not been too impressed with how he's taken that little advantage that he gained early on and made it into something bigger.
A huge advantage. Oh, cheeky Ezreal still with the ulti there on the red buff. And Soaz actually continuing to charge on towards Hotshot. He's going to back away from that. Sunfire Cape also on Hotshot there, just spotted. Linak is going to drive in the middle there. You can see the spear landed on Big Fat LP there. That means he's going to back off a little bit. Not going to be too excited about getting his face in there for that ulti early on. But they're going to switch down to this open inhibitor, and why not? So against all authorities going in towards a naked CLG. He might be able to catch them out, strengthens inhibitor. How does CLG fancy this one? Neither team have Baron. Linak actually using the burnout to back away from St. Vicious there. The target they really want is Chowster, who just completely got caught out. Will that poison? No, will not manage to chunk him down enough. St. Vicious though needing them spears. Them spears really start to sting in the backside there, and they are going to continue to chunk down that inhibitor. The spear game goes out wildly. Linak eating a couple of hits, but he's just not bothered about it, and will back away. They're probably going to turn their attention towards this middle lane. They need to clear it out a little bit and then drive forward with those minions. And CLG have had to regroup. This time they've got a tower to defend themselves, so that will help them a little bit. Baron is not too far away either from spawning, and those spears. It's always one of the most impressive things in the game to see when those spears hit, because they just do a massive chunk of damage, especially when the AP has got at the moment.
Yeah, really insane. And when you look at the poke that they've got, obviously the living artillery, the ultimate from Cogmore, those spears coming in, they've got such great range and great damage with it as well that CLG even have trouble standing on the turret there to defend it, which is never going to be a good thing. Actually, Shyvana's just moving that minion wave forward from the top lane as well, so they're going to try to push that middle and the top lane at exactly the same time, which opened things up earlier on. They were constantly harassing this top turret, while Moma literally pushed 2 turrets and almost the inhibitor down on the bottom as well. That is now, of course, taken out, but Linak is the one pushing forward here on top, and I think they're going to leave Linak to his devices. He's going to take this turret.
Just tried to catch out on the side there, and Linak has snuck in there, and he will take that turret down. The rest of Against All Authorities now rotating round. Will they take the advantage? Because that middle turret also down. Yellowstar has been caught out there, though. Trying his best to get onto him. You can see St. Vicious pushing on towards Mama. I think they might turn around. Wow, how did that spear miss? I've no idea. Meanwhile, Linak continues on the inhibitor. He's got to be careful. CLG are all turning back around for them. And Against All Authority just buying him time to just keep on that. And Yellowstar just wants to get in, get 1-2 shots on towards that tower. It will go down, and now they're going to dive in. St. Vicious actually caught out. St. Vicious had to use his ulti to back away. Clever crescendo goes across. Mama, though, is going to be saved by that Janna ulti. N-Rated now might be in trouble. I think Hotshot's going to flash in there, try and get the taunt on towards N-Rated. He will do. Double F pops the ulti across as well. Baron has just spawned. There might be a little chance for CLG to try and get something back from this, but the inhibitor will go down on the top lane, and Linak is now going to actually pressure on towards St. Vicious. and just keep an eye on what's going on around the map. You can see Doublelift now coming in. Doublelift is the danger man for Linak here. He's going to have to use his ulti to pounce across. You can see they're ready and waiting. They will count him out. You know what? CLG are going to quickly counter this. They're going to have to rush for Baron. There's no way around this one. And I think Against All Authorities have just about enough to stop them, prevent them, just keep them occupied in there. They have a lot of super minions pouring into their base shortly, certainly from that bottom lane. They've got double minion stacked there. And, well, actually, Against All Authorities, they're going to try 3-man Baron.
Yeah, they're going to go in there. I mean, they've got the damage from Nidalee, Yellow Star, Nidalee, Cogmore, and Sion as well. Down to around about half. CLG had to defend their base, and that's one thing that I think you have to give credit to Against All Authority for. Even though they lost those men, they actually stayed fairly offensive to stop CLG pushing out of their base, and they knew that those minions were going to have to be dealt with by CLG, so that allowed them to get a free Baron with 3 alive. And unfortunately for Linak, he's not going to benefit from it, but 4 out of 5 definitely worth it for Against All Authority at this point of the game. And we're starting to see those elixirs being bought now, so with that Baron buff on as well, Against All Authority want to close out this game. We're 32 minutes into it. Things have been changing all over the place, and it's still 11-8 in kills in favour of CLG. The gold is, however, 9k in favour of Against All Authority after the Barons that they've had, after taking down a lot more turrets, the inhibitors, plus the dragons that they've had in this game as well. So whilst not quite picking up the kills, just shows that you don't always need to be ahead in kills to be winning the game.
Yeah, and the whole thing's just been about that pushing. They've literally done what CLG do to most teams. They've just turned it around. So maybe that's something new. Like, we're going to use your tactic.
Yeah, why not, actually?
Yeah, we watched you earlier. Thought it was all right against Moscow 5. It had its chances, and we're going to use that. So if you don't mind, we'll just continue pushing. So super minions working their way along the bottom and the top. Bottom inhibitor will be due to spawn shortly, but Linak is now clawing his way in towards the base. Oh, looks like someone got caught out. It was St. Vicious, had to use his ulti. Shen, I think ulti, no, he wasn't actually used. Yes, he was. Shen ulti did come in there, so double ultis used up there forcefully, and Shen is now going to have to back away from that one. Big Fat LP needs to be careful he doesn't get caught out by a death gaze there, sorry, a cryptic gaze, that's the word I'm after. Pretty much would be a death gaze, yeah. It would be if you get caught out. So all inhibitors now down for CLG, and Against All Authority driving home their advantage. Remember, this is a best of 3. This is just the first game in the series, and it is 34 minutes in, so it's actually been a fairly long drawn out effort, considering Against All Authorities have really had a bit of an advantage for the last 5 or 10 minutes. And actually there's spears coming in. You can see they're not doing a great deal on Hotshot anymore. He's quite defensive against those. I'm not sure they've got the Baron. They're just going to wait for these stacks, because they're still feeling that actually if they push against these double Nexus turrets, it might hurt them a little bit here.
Yeah, they need to be a little bit careful. I mean, those super minions that are coming in as well are going to really be helping them out. Another, that bottom inhibitor is going to be taken again. It seems as though Hotshot's a bit of a spear magnet at the moment, which, as you mentioned, is like the least effective. There goes a flash. Ulti goes across from pretty much everyone in Yellow Star. He's going to explode, but when he pops his passive there, he will probably do enough to make aAa think we can stick around for this. More of those spears going across, and well, CLG really having to focus on super minions. They're all over the place in that base. The 2 Nexus turrets are slowly regenning. The bottom one around about half HP, but Against All Authority, they don't want to get caught out. They can't afford to let this one go now. Yeah, and they've had to back away from it. You can see they're going up towards the blue there, and they've, despite the fact they've had Baron, that's what they were worried about. So they got caught out by a good little CLG counter strat there. Quick crescendo followed by all the damage. So quick reactions from CLG there. Obviously he was disgusted. He was like, right, I'm going to do this at any second now, and then they all just launched for it, and immediately Doublelift launched his ulti straight across them as soon as they got caught out. So it's looking very well at CLG's favour. Remember, CLG are actually sitting and getting a lot of farm while these super minions keep coming down. So, Against All Authority, despite the fact they have got the 3 inhibitors down, they could easily continue to drive forward. And they are giving CLG a lot of farm, like I mentioned, but the gold difference is still pretty huge. It is only 8k, but and it is only 12-8. It is possible to turn this around. It will be very, very hard, but you can see Hotshot, those spears are not doing a great deal of damage to them, and actually they seem to be throwing at him. Like you said, it's a spear magnet. Big Fat LP is kind of the one they want in Doublelift, but they're unable to get past Mundo and Hotshot at the moment. Yeah, at the moment Hotshot actually up to 200 mag resist, so those spears having a bit of a hard time getting through. But we are now seeing Against All Authority start to work in. Baron is gone. St. Vicious being pressured by Linak, but that top inhibitor is back up, and probably the next focus for Against All Authority. More elixirs coming onto Yellow Star now that he's back into the battle. Actually got some magic resist of his own as well. Doesn't want to be getting caught out by Big Fat LP, who is still sat on those 3 kills which he had in the early game. And when I saw that happen, I really expected Big Fat LP to go massive, massive in this game. And it just hasn't quite worked out for them. More spears coming in, super minions hammering away on that inhibitor as well. And it will go down here momentarily, possibly. It should have. I'm surprised they didn't stick around for that. But you know, as we almost hit the 40-minute mark, it's very, very touch and go for Against All Authority. They're still, I think, not so keen on taking a big team fight. They don't feel 100% confident with the position that they're in. They may just take this top turret down. Hotshot actually will get focused. In comes a Howling Gale. Ultimate from Shortster didn't really do all that much. Exhaust went on to Yellow Star as well, who's knocked down to round about half HP. But CLG have done a decent job of, you know, wounding Against All Authority and trying to force them away. They're going to dive in onto Yellow Star. Ultimate did come off from Janna. Won't be enough to save them. And there goes Cogmore into the pack. Linak will fall as well. Moma is playing dangerous in there. He goes down after getting a kill of his own. And well, 3 for 1 in favor of CLG. They're 15-9 ahead in the kills. And still they're hanging on, and I can't believe that these Nexus turrets haven't actually died. Bottom one, surely. Oh, he's pulled the super minion off it. One more hit and it would have gone down. Oh, hot shot, almost caught out. But still, they're hanging on. And really hanging on.
really, really hanging on. Yeah, they're just trying to keep them away, and Soas is keeping them busy here with those spears coming in. But it was all about Big Fat LP's ulti there. Actually managed to catch a couple of them in it as soon as they went in there, which is what turned CLG to charge straight in there. But Soas is quite happy to keep these super minions going. N-rated is going to back away, so I guess we're going to see yet another delay here for Against All Authority. They are going to respawning in a second. Everybody's ported back. And they're going to wait yet again. But those these Nexus turrets, they do regenerate health, and they didn't quite go down. They were down to 30 hit points. And I tell you what, Chowster can't tank that super minion for too long. Just about hanging on in there. And the rest of the team have respawned, so they're going to keep farming. And you can see the gold difference is actually starting to claw back now. It's down to 5k. It was 8k earlier. They're slowly but surely starting to get those gold back. And the inhibitor has respawned, so they're going to try and protect that. But Against All Authority have only lost 1 tower. That's a huge difference.
Yeah, 1 tower down. Baron is actually there. Linak already starting it off. And again, CLG too preoccupied with getting these super minions away. They're rolling in their pairs at this point. And that's making it very, very difficult for CLG to actually extend themselves and defend against this Baron, which has now been finished off by Against All Authority. Pretty much everyone getting up to their end game builds now as well. And we finally see a Banshee's Veil finished on double lift, because I think those spears are half HP deals by this stage of it, especially with that Baron buff on. And we are going to see the push in. Oh, Crescendo actually missed the entire pack. And that's not going to be good news yet. Nearly 609 AP with that Baron buff on.
That was well spotted by Janna. Popping the Shirelli's Reverie just at the right time to get away from that Crescendo, which is what managed to cause the defense there. You can see St. Vicious being targeted again here. Yellow Star quite happily burning him down there, and now they're going to switch their attention to that inhibitor. You can see the middle inhibitor also got Linak poking towards it. Bottom inhib goes back down, middle inhib goes back down. CLG is surely going to get forced in as the minions do take down that top Nexus turret. Now just 1 turret remaining. The Against All Authorities won't think twice to dive in. Crescendo is not up, it's not half as scary. Big Fat LP is the only man with the ulti that can really cause them any issues. They do manage to go in there, and you can see the Cryptic Gaze was used on Hotshot. I'm not too sure why they keep doing that. Double lift needs to get the Banshee's Veil burned, and there it goes. Just for that next super minion wave that comes in, they're going to go straight towards that Nexus. But CLG just hanging on. I can't believe how long this game has gone on since they've took down these turrets. They're just drawing it out. I mean, Soas, if he just actually threw a couple of spears at that turret along with Yellow Star, would take it down in seconds. It's only 1,000 hit points. If they actually did it, I think Soas is purposely drawing this one out. I've got to be honest.
He wants to get up to 1,000 AP.
Yeah, Shirelli is very used. They did manage to get towards Yellow Star there, but Lenrated using a good ulti to back them out. St. Vicious now caught out. Spear goes in. St. Vicious will go down. Linak, meanwhile, drawing the entire CLG team away, and you can see Hotshot diving in towards Yellow Star. It's not going to happen, though. He got it up and he gets away. Mama was caught out by Big Fat LP's ulti. Does finally get taken down. That turret still got Mini going towards it, but now they're against All Authority, having to back away again. I can't believe Linak continues to do this split push. They really want to use this tactic on them. Big Fat LP caught out there, will get caught out, and there was the killing spree coming out from SOAS. They finally take the Nexus turret down, and the Nexus will follow. Well, they sure drew that one out against All Authority, but you know what? They won it about 23 minutes ago, but they managed to hang on them for a while there, so just seeing how the CLG tactic works.
Yeah, and why not copy them, play them in a mirror match of styles at least, and it seemed to work.